Hi, this is JoShenman introducing to you WaltGollender, who's going to present 3 very important clips from his career. Walt?
Thank you, Josephine JoShenman, having me tonight. We're going to start off with a song called Mr. Mailman. Then we're going to hear a phone call from DickClark, who needs no introduction. And we're going to hear something from Max Weinberg. Let's listen.
Thank you so much, Walt.
Thank you, JoShenman.
Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Mr. Mailman, I've been waiting for you to come on by. You see, I wrote her a letter in a jealous rage, 'cause somebody told me a lie. When I heard she's been seen in the arms of another man, like a fool, I blew my cool. I wrote the letter that you got in your hand. Oh, please tell me, Mr. Mailman, haven't you ever been in love before? Oh, please, Mr. Mailman, won't you help me if you can? That girl is all that I'm living for. My Doreen is such a loving child, but she ain't the understanding kind, and she'll never believe that I lied in the letter when I said I had a chick on the side. Yes, I know it's against the law, but here's what I'm thinking of. Maybe you can stretch it just a little bit, give it back in the name of love. Oh, please tell me, Mr. Mailman, haven't you ever been in love before? Oh, please, Mr. Mailman, won't you help me if you can? That girl is all that I am living for. No, girl, I ain't no fool. I wasn't born yesterday. All the while you've been doing your thing, thinking that I was blind to your ways. Well, I don't need eyes in the back of my head to see what's been going on. I don't need them, I said I don't need them, girl. I can feel it all in my bones.
I have been very much in love with this master recording of Please Mr. Mailman, backed up with I Don't Need Eyes in the Back of My Head. And I've been sending it out to a couple of top industry people to try and find out, number one, their opinion, and number two, what could be done with it. I'll tell you others about the other reaction. Actually, I've gotten response so far from Robert Pruder, R&B editor at Goldmine magazine, who said it would have been a natural hit in 1965, but what do you do with it today? Jerry Osborne, the editor and publisher of Discoveries magazine, said to me on a postcard, when I asked him whether he liked it and whether it had a chance, he said, yes. He loves it, go for it. He said he liked it very much, but there's no market. So with this in mind, I sent it out to a number of top industry people. I received a phone call today. I beeped in for my messages, and I had this on the line today, and I'd like to share it with you. I don't know if this fella has too much background in music or whether he knows what he's talking about, but it certainly was a bright spot on a cloudy Thursday, October 31st, Halloween. Stand by for the message I received today.
Walt, this is DickClark calling at 10:10 on Thursday, October 31st, regarding the tape you sent me on Sam Cooke Jr. I'd like to talk to you about it. Please call me at 818-841-3003. That's DickClark calling Thursday, October 31st. Telephone number is 818-841-3003. Thank you.
Not too bad from a guy named Dick Clark. What does he know about these things? He only got the tape a couple of days ago. I just sent it out this past week. What does he want? Let's hear that again.
Walt, this is Dick Clark calling at 10:10 on Thursday, October 31st, regarding the tape you sent me on Sam Cooke Jr. I'd like to talk to you about it. Please call me at 818-841-3003. That's Dick Clark calling Thursday, October 31st. Telephone number is 818-841-3003. Thank you.
Right now, returning that call to Mr. Dick Clark. Yes, this is WaltGollender returning Dick Clark's call from this afternoon. It's about 5:30 here. Phone is ringing. I'm on hold right now, I guess.
See if I can find him. Who's calling, please?
Walter Gollender from Irvington, New Jersey. He called me this morning about 10 o'clock your time.
Okay, just one sec.
Okay. Phone's ringing.
Dick Clark's office?
Yeah, this is Walt Gollender returning Mr. Clark's phone call from this morning.
I'm sorry, your name, sir?
Walter Gollender from Irvington, New Jersey.
One moment, please.
Okay.
Hi, Walt.
Is this Mr. DickClark himself?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question about the tape you sent me. Is there really a Sam Cooke Jr.?
I am wondering. I picked this up from one of my junior talent scouts. You know, being in the business all these years, people are inundating me with tapes, and I go here and I go there, and people mail things in, and this came floating in, and I played it, and I loved the song, but I was wondering what the heck it is, but I figured I'd try and get some feelers on it. What did you think?
I know Sam didn't have any kids, but
Me
who
neither.
knows? Can we check and find out?
What'd you think of the song?
I liked it a lot. I liked the guy's performance. I thought it was very interesting. He certainly does a good impression of Sam Cooke. So if he's Sam's kid, there may be something to do there.
Well, for you to get back to me that quickly, I sent the tape out to maybe a handful of top folks like yourself. I figured if anybody would know, you might, and maybe a couple of the other folks. And it's too good to waste, I think.
Well, I don't know what it is. It could be a guy doing an imitation of Sam Cooke who calls himself Sam Cooke Jr. If so, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
If Sam Cooke really had a son who sounds just like he did, there may be a career for him and life in the song.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to investigate this further now that I see that it is viable. I happen to love the master, and I played it for a couple of folks, and they liked it, and I say, what do I do with it in today's
My
market?
guess is it's a guy
Yeah.
that does an imitation of Sam Cooke, and to get your attention, he calls himself Sam Cooke Jr.
Yeah, like Son of Elvis, or
I
etc.
would think so.
Yeah.
In any case, would you let me know what the upshot of it is?
How far should I go in the investigation? Should I knock my brains out, or
Oh,
what?
I don't, it's entirely up to you. I'm just curious. If there is truly a son of Sam Cooke around who sounds like him, then I want to get interested. That's the extent of my curiosity.
Suppose I round the guy up and he tells me he's the son of Sam Cooke. How do I...
Have him give you the birth certificate and the rest.
All right, tell me to go on. If he isn't, though, can I do anything with it?
I don't have any interest. I mean, there are a lot of parody people around and imitators. Makes no difference to me. I wish him Godspeed.
All right, it's coming from you. That's good encouragement. I'll start reaching out this week. I'll see what I come up with.
Okay, fine.
Thanks for getting back. Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Well, I hope he's the son of Sam Cooke. I hate to disappoint DickClark. He's not a guy to disappoint. But I really hope this turns out to be the son of Sam Cooke. Stay tuned, gang. And just on the possibility, my friends, that nothing will come of this, let's enjoy that conversation, or rather that phone message from Mr. DickClark himself. It may never go any further than this, my friends. Mr. Renga, all my other good friends out there. So, just as a memory of today, let's listen to that thrilling phone call one more time.
Walt, this is DickClark calling at 10:10 on Thursday, October 31st, regarding the tape you sent me on Sam Cooke Jr. I'd like to talk to you about it. Please call me at 818-841-3003. That's DickClark calling Thursday, October 31st. Telephone number is 818-841-3003. Thank you.
That's that. Yes, we're on hold right now.
Okay, I can transfer you. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on one second.
Finally, we've been missing each other.
Yes, you're a hard man to reach and vice versa, so...
Well, you're always in the studio and I call late at night, so it's 3 hours difference.
Oh, yeah.
How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Do I detect a little stuffy nose?
Yes, I've got a cold.
All right. I spoke with my man a week ago, and he says, in all honesty, face to face, he says he has no idea where to dig up official legal papers now. I think he's backing off between you and I.
He's a good imitator, which is fine. Not much I can do with that, Walt.
Where could this project have gone?
Well, if it had been his kid, it'd be something else. I mean, but somebody who's a sound-alike, there's probably a million of those around.
Could anything have come of it, though? 'Cause I'm kicking myself that once again, another bit of bad luck.
Well, it's not bad luck. He's just, he's got a gimmick, you know. I don't know what to do with it. I suppose anybody who wanted to could sound like Nat Cole or Sam or Brooke Benton or whoever struck their fancy.
Because you had said to me that if it really were legitimate, you could get interested. So I just feel...
if Sam had a kid and that was the one and sounded like that, you'd probably be able to get a recording contract and some other things. But if it's a fake, and it's just a very good imitation. It needs to be complimented. He's great.
I'm not going to give up, but I just want to let you know so I don't hold you up. In the future, are you looking for any kind of unusual acts or talent of any kind? Because I'm always in the marketplace. I'm always coming up with something.
Not really. We've got a record company. We've got 2 pieces of talent that we're going to work on in the next 6 months, and that's about all we can do for the moment. But, maybe a year from now when we get... either one of these people make it, we'll be in the market for something else.
Yeah, but keep in mind that I'm always running around the East Coast. And I do come up with some strange but unusual talent, and sometimes you don't know where to shop it. You being an entrepreneur, you just might be looking for something strange.
Well, if you come up with something extraordinary, feel free to give me a call.
Like an Oriental rap group or something?
No, not quite.
By the way, I want to just say I've been writing to Bernie Binnick a few times. I had sent Bernie some pictures that I took of you and Al Alberts at one of the 1959 shows, and he appreciated that. And he passed the pictures along to Tony Memorella's wife.
Yeah, he's passed on, Bernie's dead.
Oh, because I had not gotten an answer back from him.
Oh, that's why. He died about
for taking the time to compliment me on that Four Aces story I had sent you.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Did you like that?
Enjoyed it.
I'm going to be talking with Alberts himself in about a week. Final question. What is your strongest memory of the Four Aces? If you have to sum it up in one succinct line.
I know. The reaction they used to get when they were on the bandstand was, truly memorable. They were, I guess, though they weren't teen idols, they were idolized by so many generations.
Do you think if they had done some Alan Freed shows, they would have been accepted more into rock and roll?
I have no idea. Probably not. The music wasn't,
They only added triplets in 1957.
Yeah.
In desperation.
It was another era from which that music came.
I'm looking at your picture on the wall. I've got the little bandstand book surrounding me here. All right. Anything else before I bid you?
Call me if you hear something interesting, and we'll just keep paddling along.
All right. I like that. All right. Thank you so much, sir.
All right.
Many more years.
Thanks for checking back.
Okay. Bye-bye, Dick. Thank you. Yes, as busy as I am working with people like Sandy Ringa, Phil Bruno, and all my other pals, I'll still find the time in my busy schedule to talk with my pal and my friend, Dick Clark. So ends the saga of the new Sam Cooke. Signing off, everybody. It's been a fun 2 weeks from Halloween until today, November 20th. Bye-bye. Keep your shoes polished. Keep on rocking.
Correction. Make that 3 weeks. Yes, from October 31st until November 20th. That's 3 weeks, not 2 weeks. And one mighty big phone bill to Burbank, California. Not to mention running back to my office to make those phone calls at the right time. But that's what we get paid for. The unsung heroes behind the scenes. That's me.
Yeah, so you have 2 major labels out, and you're still playing students and gigs. Was that tough on you guys?
Well, now you're for 75 cents and 2 beers. You're referring to what we got paid. It was very tough in the beginning because the music business, when we started in the early 70s, was much different. You had to get out there and you had to play. It was also, in a way, a lot easier because the main market we enjoyed was colleges. We would set up on tables in cafeterias. We played all over the place, The very first gig I did with Bruce was a fraternity party at Newark State. It was then Newark State. It's Kane College. It's never changed. You have to get out there and you have to work and you have to learn. It was tough on us. We went through a lot of years of a lot of hard road work, 10 years without making really any profit.
A lot of people think you've got a major label record out, you're made.
Yeah.
And you had definitely had 2 out, and you were still doing it.
Yeah, you're never made. Even when you have 10 records out and you've sold 100 million albums, if you don't have the attitude that you can always do better, which is what, I'm thankful for in this band because that's what we've always felt, that we can do better. We can make a better record. We can play a 4-hour show and not get tired and give the people more than their money's worth. It's an attitude, and we've been at it so long, it's kind of inbred. It's difficult. I know how difficult it is when, you're playing. I'll give you my example, 16 years old, playing in the Club Miami in Keansburg, backing up strippers for no money, but a lot of experience and, and those were tough days, So it's always tough. I find it's just as tough now as it was then, and that's why I offer hope when I talk to people, because if you keep at it, someday you will break through. I think from my experience, most people stop before it's time. If you just keep at it. Music businesses, we didn't have videos, We didn't have videos in the early 70s. You had to get out and you had to play and you had to win your audience over and you had to learn how to figure out what turns them on. And that was basically how we did it. And I still think that that's the way, wherever possible, it can be done. It is true that bands, they get together 6 months, 6 months later, they make their first, the first video. Then they do the album. And, very often you don't hear from these bands again because they are not seasoned. And the way to season yourself is to just keep playing and keep at it. Whatever you're doing, whether it's law, whether it's writing, or whether it's playing music. Mr. Gollender.
In your opinion, Max, which was a better band, the Epsilons or Friday's Child?
Without a doubt, the Epsilons. Let me introduce this gentleman, Mr. Walter Gollender, legendary New Jersey promoter, who, when I was in high school, was the man that you took your demo tape to. And he was very inspirational to us because he did give us hope. He used to produce these rock and roll shows in the mid-'60s at the Royal Theater in Bloomfield. And, the big dream was to get on one of these rock and roll shows, just to get on it and play. So he knows whereof he speaks.
But I angered you 3 years ago. Tell him how I angered you.
Well, Mr. Gollender has a...
Good must come with the bad.
He is the ultimate promoter because and he's a delightful fellow. But I'm going to tell you exactly what he's referring to. Yes, and I'm going to tell him. Well, this is the classic New Jersey promotion story. When you take a picture with someone and it ends up in a publication the next week as if you're managing them.
Never said that.
No, but I still think you're a delightful guy. And I'll tell you, Mr. Gollender had see the respect I afforded Mr. Gollender. My first recording session.
Before people came to Dalton's, I'd say
he was right. My first recording session took place in a garage in Union, New Jersey. The first time I ever made a record. He paid for it. And I'm going to get that $15 back to you as soon as I can. I got to take a couple more questions here. Do I see any more questions? There's a gentleman right there.
When you're putting stuff together for your album,
yes.
Does everybody have a say in what goes on in the music? And do you feel that's important that everybody in the band has a say?
The question is, when we're putting an album together, does everyone in the group have a say as to what goes in the album? The answer is, it depends on the album. I'll give you an example. Born in the USA, which was a record that was out about 4 or 5 years ago, basically we went in, Bruce has these incredible songs, shows us the chords, shows the band the riff, Born in the USA, ba, 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 and we just play it. Just played it live, like you would in a garage, and we record it. Tunnel of Love, our last album, was done much differently. Depends on the situation. The second part of that question was, is it important for everyone to have a say in what goes down in the music? There is no one answer because, for example, say you're a session musician and you're hired to play on someone's record and there's a producer there. Your job is to play your instrument the way that producer wants to hear that instrument played. In other words, if I get hired to play the drums on a record, all I want them to hear from me is the sound of my drums the way they want to hear them. My musical personality is going to come through. They're paying your paycheck. You're working for them. Now, if you're in a...
Walt, what did you think of your favorite clips?
Well, I've seen them before, but I want to know what all your millions of viewers think of them. Please get in touch with me at WaltGollender@yahoo.com and WaltGollender 973-868-1995. Thank you, Josephine.
And thank you so much, Walt Gollender. Your classic tapes are now for all to enjoy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.